Let's talk about Mr. Thin-Skin himself, Commissioner David Painter, in the Claremont County Animal Shelter. Today, on November 7th at 4:24 a.m., Commissioner Painter made a post on his Facebook page. It has all the typical Painterisms. Anybody that critiques the guy is automatically fake news. So Claremont Animal Care Humane Society is the fake news person of the day. He talks about protecting your money, a guy who has never done anything but expand government. He takes credit for a decline in euthanasia at the animal shelter, and then he demands financial transparency and claims that a lack of financial transparency in financial statements is the reason why there's so much issue right now with the animal shelter and Claremont Animal Care Humane Society. Let's watch a little snippet of video from Local 12 News.
Tonight, the commission tells us the reason is simple. The Humane Society did not provide a financial report in their application.
It's time for people to understand that this is an issue of money and it's an issue of contract. It's not an issue of animal care.
So you just heard him say it's not an issue of animal care. The issue is this financial statement thing. That's what he put in his post. That's what was said in the Channel 12 news story. Hey, but let's go back to November 2nd at 5:04 p.m. when the county Facebook page talked about the issue with the animal shelter and had a totally different reason. There was no reference whatsoever on November 2nd at 5:04 p.m. in an official county post to anything about financial statements or needing financial statements. The reason given here is dog warden turnover. And I actually quote from this, quote, "For this reason, the county is exploring the option of hiring the wardens." So they want these to be county employees. So it sounds like the actual issue on November 2nd directly related to animal care and turnover in the dog warden position. But now on November 7th, it has to do with turning over some financial statement. Folks, this is typical Claremont County David Painter government. The story changes based on the day of the week, and you have got to inspect what is said. But even more fun, at 9:45 a.m. today, so about 5 hours after his original post, Painter posts again. Now he's all pissed off because people that love animals say, hey, maybe we should go talk to Purina about our county's track record of treating the animal shelter like dirt. So remember, Claremont Animal Care's Humane Societies is having issues now. Before them, it was Claremont to the rescue. There's a pattern here of issues in our animal shelter. Mr. Thin-Skin fears public input in Q&A, and now he fears that people might actually go talk to Purina, his crown jewel project that I'm going to talk about more because I'm getting documents on the Purina project. He's afraid that people might actually contact them. Well, let me help you out, people that might be wanting to contact them. I will put in the comments to this post the name Josh Roche. He's the legal counsel for Purina, and he's the person referenced in the actual Purina documents that I have obtained so far from our government, and I think you should mail away. Let Purina know about the track record of our county when it comes to animal shelters and animal care. I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And Mr. Painter, if you don't like it, why don't you send Josh Roche a note explaining all the great things that you've done for animals in the county? So there is one thing about our animal shelter that the county does completely control right now, and that is dog tag renewals. Dog tag renewals is a disaster in Claremont County. The process is like 1972. The cards got printed wrong in the last one. We have an unbelievably low compliance rate. There's no opportunity to do everything completely online easily. And we don't, because of it, the dog shelter, the animal shelter gets underfunded. So because of a very process the government controls, and it runs it how? The way government does stuff. So the idea that it's a financial statement is BS. The idea that it's dog warden turnover, do we really believe that if the dog wardens were employees of the county, the service level would go way up? Come on. Where does government do a better job than private enterprise in terms of doing those kind of things? This is a time when the operator before Claremont Animal Care's Humane Society and Claremont Animal Care's Humane Society should come together. People that believe that it's important to have an independent operator of the animal shelter who is truly advocating and truly wants to do things more than the statutory requirements. The commissioners talk about euthanasia of dogs and so forth. But remember, if you know, the statute, for example, doesn't require an animal shelter to deal with cats. So both of the operators that we've had over the last several years have dealt with cats. And we need people in that role that love animals and are not government bureaucrat employees controlled by Commissioner David Painter. It's time for these two groups, Claremont to the Rescue, Claremont Animal Care's Humane Society, to put past differences aside and realize they've both been played by the county. They have both been used and abused, and it's time for them to stand up together, the people that support both organizations, in the quest for maintaining independence in an animal shelter operation. What do I think should happen? I think that people should show up at the commissioner meeting on Wednesday, November 18th at 10 a.m. and fill up the bonus room. They have this goofy bonus room where they make people sit in because we got to protect our commissioners from the citizens being anywhere. You could be 20 feet away from a commissioner. That's dangerous to have a citizen close to them. The next meeting is November 18th. There's not a meeting this Wednesday, November 11th, according to their calendar. So it'll be November 18th. And I would encourage both groups to come together and live stream from that room and demand that the commissioners who are right across the hall in their bubble open the doors and let people come in one by one, wearing masks, socially distanced, and speak to them. Get out of their bubble where they try to hide from any public input and hide behind social media posts. Live stream from that room, and just know that any one of the three commissioners can simply call public participation. That's all they got to do. They all have the power to do that. Ed Humphrey, Claire Corcoran, David Painter, they can all call for public participation and allow people into their room to talk out their differences related to the animal shelter. Let's watch another little clip from when the First Amendment suit I had against the county got
Claremont
settled.
County Board of Commissioners admit, while not being disruptive, Mr. Hicks' First Amendment right to freedom of speech was violated when he was not given permission to speak during public participation, and was removed from the board session on July 26, 2017. I just wanted to say that it's very unfortunate in today's world that we can't talk out our differences.
So it took 2 years. I left that first part in because it took 2 years for the county to simply admit what they did was wrong to me. They should have just apologized in the first place and they could have avoided the whole thing. But how do you like that back part? Commissioner Painter sitting up there on his high horse talking about people talking things out. Why can't we talk things out? When Commissioner Painter, for the last 8 months, has specifically prohibited citizens from being able to talk it out with their commissioners at public participation in commissioner meetings. So I encourage Claremont Animal Care's Humane Society and Claremont to the Rescue supporters to come together in support of a robust animal shelter and animal care function that we can be proud of, that has independent operators involved and does the right thing for animals, dogs, cats, livestock, etc., and not let Commissioner Painter turn this into yet another fiefdom. We have a history in our county of these petty anti-commissioners trying to turn agencies into their fiefdoms. David Ubel did it with the CVB. Now I'm thinking David Painter is trying to do it with the animal shelter. Thank you for watching. Hopefully these people will take some advice from me and can really put pressure on these commissioners to stop the insanity and properly fund a animal shelter function. And if Commissioner Painter wants to work on something, go downstairs to Auditor Fraley's office or fly down to Florida to see her and get her to fix the damn dog tag system so that it would generate higher compliance and there would be more money going to the shelter in the first place. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday.